40-90 club, five seasons.
I need you to pull up Basketball Reference right now. How many quality years has Steve Nash had compared to Chris Paul? How many playoff
but the
runs?
thing, no, but
how many quality years?
But here's the thing. But
to see him come out and kind of just defy all odds of actually making it here.
Him and his brother on the same team.
Yeah,
now.
I think it's just
him and his brother used to share his
him.
pop shoes back in the day to play ball. Like
I am rooting for Giannis
hustling.
in this series.
He was selling DVDs and newspapers to even get money to play in leagues. Like seeing Giannis win would be nice.
Nothing against Chris Paul. I mean, if he finally
for me, it is against Chris Paul. I want Giannis to win. I do not want Chris Paul to win a ring.
Why are you a Chris Paul hater?
You don't like Chris Paul, man?
I'll say it on this podcast. Chris Paul, even if he wins a ring this year. Actually, if he wins a ring this year, sure. But if he doesn't win a ring this year, he's not a top 5 point guard ever. And people who say are wrong. So if you have him, Manny, if you have him top 5, that means you have him better than one of these 5 players. Oscar Robertson, Steph Curry, Magic Johnson, Steve Nash, John Stockton. John Stockton was the best point guard.
Over Steve Nash.
Really?
He's over Steve Nash.
All right, Steve Nash.
Steve Nash got back-to-back MVPs, and
he didn't deserve one of them.
Go ahead, Sam. Fuck him up, Sam.
No.
Get him, Sam.
No. The first, I don't remember it was the first one or the second one, but he stole it from Kobe. The second one was stolen from Kobe. Steve Nash is better. Steve Nash is better than Chris Paul as point guard. Better.
How
50, 40, 90 club, 5 seasons.
Yeah. I need you to pull up Basketball Reference right now. How many quality years has Steve Nash had compared to Chris Paul? How many playoff runs? How many quality years?
But here's the thing. This is what I hate about when people talk basketball. Rings only matter when it helps their argument. For example, I've had this debate so many times. Who has been better throughout their career as an overall player, Russell Westbrook or Chris Paul? Russell Westbrook's numbers are better than Chris Paul's if you look at it. I mean, defense, no. But then everyone's like, oh, Chris Paul's a winner. Like, how? He's made it. This is the first year he's made it past the second round. He made the Western Conference Finals with the Rockets.
Well, and they would have won that series if he doesn't get hurt.
Yo, absolutely, I agree. But
and you had to add in longevity with it.
But
Steve Nash's longevity had zero.
Yeah,
zero longevity.
I don't know about zero longevity. Well, he didn't have as much longevity as Chris Paul. But then also
Chris Paul has gone to 5 teams and brought all 5 of those teams to the playoffs.
Yeah, but what is he like? He other than the Rockets, he made the West. This is the second time he's been past the second round in his career, though.
He's been on 3 teams that have championship aspirations, real championship potential. One of those teams he made the Western Conference Finals, Game 7. Other team he's in the finals. The only team that he really choked with was with the Clippers.
Yeah, the Clippers. Honestly, that wasn't his fault with the Clippers. When he was on the Clippers, that dude was a beast. On the Clippers, beast.
So you think Steve Nash is bringing that Hornets team to the second round by himself? That OKC team to the second round by himself. Let's be honest.
Oh, not the OKC
Let's
team.
Be honest here.
Definitely not the OKC team. That OKC team was, no, that's not true. Shai's a baller. Shai's a beast. But I mean, last year with that OKC team, I'm sure of a lot of it was like Chris Paul's leadership and all that. This year with the Suns, I think the Suns were just one player away. No matter who, even if it wasn't Chris Paul, they were one guy away.
My argument with the Suns, we had it on a pod too. I was like, bro, they went 8-0 in the bubble without him.
Yeah,
they were going to be all right.
They were going to be good.
He was the piece they needed. But as far as the Steve Nash and CP3 debate, Steve Nash was great for his stint, but you got to reward longevity. Not even rings, nothing like that. You got to reward longevity. Chris Paul's been doing this for 10+ years straight. I'm
also biased because I'm a huge Russell Westbrook fan and dislike Chris Paul solely because people think he's better than Russell Westbrook. So yes, I'm sure Chris Paul actually is a top 5 point guard ever. I just am not a fan of Chris Paul, so that's why I don't have him in my top 5.
So we had an MVP debate on here with a former producer that worked with us.
Don't get me started on this.
Relax.
Please.
No. And then I'm bringing that up there. And then there was also another MVP debate because when Sam was applying to Vendetta.
I'm like itching over here, bro.
Relax,
I got to get this off my. I know what you're going to say.
So when Sam was applying for Vendetta, Trey was asking for him in the interview, like, if you read any of the articles. And he was like, I read your article where you said Chris Paul was MVP. And I'm just going to be straight up with you. He's fucking not.
Right.
No, Sam was like, bro,
he wasn't
fucking moron.
Like the fact that when you look at Chris Paul,
he's not even the MVP of his team.
Exactly.
He's not.
Think about it, because if you look at the series, I don't remember what series it was. It might have been, it was either against the Lakers or it was against who they play in the second round. The Suns.
The Nuggets.
It might have been against. It was the Nuggets or the Lakers. But the dude averaged under 10 points and under 10 assists, and they still won the series. So it's Chris Paul is great, but I think of a lot of his is intangibles, leadership, helping D-Book develop as a player.
The veteran guy in the locker room.
If D-Book doesn't play well, look at him last game. D-Book didn't play well, and they got waxed.
Right.
D-Book is the most and he has to play well for them to win.
100%.
Chris Paul doesn't necessarily have to put up huge numbers for them to win, but D-Book absolutely has to.
It's just, and the thing about the NBA that sickens me sometimes is all about narratives and stories and all this fucking bullshit. Because if narratives and stories weren't a thing, Russell Westbrook and Harden would have 2 MVPs apiece. That's another story for another day. But I think people are just like, I love CP, and CP's kind of a fan favorite. Obviously, he has his haters, but he's a fan favorite across the league because he's a good guy. Obviously, the Players Association president, all this shit. People love Chris Paul. So everyone wants to see him win now. And I think there's just like there's just a bias going towards him that it's like we need to get him something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I get that vibe. It's like, why are we so quick to just try to it's almost, we're not handing a participation trophy, but it's just like, just for being here, for being a good guy for 12 years and being a really good player, we're going to give you something for not getting the job done. He hasn't been the MVP of his team, bro. He hasn't at all. He missed – I remember the one game, it was the Lakers series, and the one game Chris Paul missed, they lost, and everyone was like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
And then there was another game what was the game? Did Devin Booker miss a game or did he get hurt? I think he got hurt. He came out and they lost. You didn't hear anything about it.
Yeah.
Heard nothing about it. So I think there's an obvious agenda around Chris Paul right now, and I had some hater energy for Chris. I love Chris, but
I'm talking in terms of somebody I'm rooting for to win. And maybe this is shitty to say because Chris Paul's had a very long career and he kind of deserves his finals. I don't know. I think Giannis is just these past couple of seasons where, MVP seasons and your team just chokes in the playoffs. And he tweeted back, and I don't remember the exact date, but he tweeted the lyrics to Kendrick Lamar when he was like, I got loyalty inside my DNA. And I think that was back in 2016, and now it's 5 years later, and you're in the finals because he wasn't leaving. He easily could have been an MVP on another team, and they would have paid him a lot. But I'm sticking with him, and I went through all this, I defied the odds and the adversity to stick here and play with this team, and now I'm at a chance to win. If they win Game 4, the Bucks will win the series.
I think
if they tie this up right now, it's over.
I think the Suns are going to win it. I think the Suns will win the finals. I honestly couldn't tell you who I think is going to win tonight. I think the Suns will probably win the finals. But that being said, if Chris Middleton and Giannis can both go off in the same game, they'll win the finals.
I think Jrue Holiday is the X factor.
Hey, ready? Hold on a second, Christian. Write this down. We're gonna do our MVP predictions
for finals MVP.
Finals MVP.
It's gonna be Chris Paul. If the Suns win, there's no chance it's not Chris Paul. He was just talking about it. There's an agenda around Chris Paul. If he wins a chip, there's no chance he doesn't win Finals MVP. I guarantee it.
It's Chris Paul.
If the Bucks win, it'll be Giannis. It's kind of the same thing with Giannis. It's the same thing with Giannis, kind of. There's not as much of an agenda around Giannis, but there still kind of is.
Unless we see Booker go off.
Booker's need to have like 40, 30.
If this series goes to 7 and you see Booker, like you said, have 30, 40, he'll win it.
He'll win it.
Besides that, it's Chris.
I think so. Yeah, I agree 100%.
Yeah, because I was just gonna say, like, if you're in last series for the Bucks, obviously Giannis was out, but that was Chris Middleton's series.
Right.
That was MVP.
Chris Middleton without Giannis is.
But I think,
like what Scottie Pippen was when Michael Jordan didn't play. Legitimately, he was.
They
insane.
had the tandem though. Both of them were like. There was games in these playoffs before, in these playoffs where both Giannis and Middleton both had 30 apiece, 30 a pop. Yeah. So
they got to figure it out so that they can both need to go off.
The reason Giannis is ahead here in this MVP if the Bucks win is because you just had back-to-back 40-point games. Do I think he gets 40 again tonight? No chance. No chance.
No, he doesn't get 40.
I bet on 30.
I don't think he'll get 40. I don't think he's going to shoot free throws as well as he did last game, but I think he's going to get 30.
I'm betting on 30.
I think he'll get 30 and 15.
I wonder what the fuck